What if everyone on Earth jumped at the same time? This question comes from Sarah, who asks, if all 8 billion people on Earth coordinated and jumped simultaneously, would we knock the planet out of orbit or cause any noticeable effect? Let's imagine somehow, miraculously, every single human being on Earth receives the same message at exactly the same moment, at precisely noon Universal Time coordinated. Everyone jumps as high as they can. What happens next? First, let's do some quick math. The average person weighs about 70 kilograms and can jump about half a meter high. When you jump, you push down on Earth with roughly twice your body weight for about a quarter of a second. So 8 billion people would collectively push down with about 1 trillion newtons of force. That sounds enormous, but Earth weighs 6 trillion kilograms. The force from our synchronized jump would be like a flea sneezing on a bowling ball. Earth wouldn't budge even a fraction of a millimeter from its orbit. But here's where it gets interesting. While the jump itself would be completely insignificant, the aftermath would be fascinating. When all 8 billion people land back on the ground within the same few seconds, they create the largest artificial seismic event in human history. Seismometers around the world would detect this strange, synchronized thump. The signal would be unlike any natural earthquake. Instead of the gradual buildup and decay of tectonic activity, it would be sharp, brief, and simultaneous across all continents. More intriguingly, this jump wouldn't happen in complete isolation. The coordination required would mean every single person on Earth would need to know about it. The internet traffic in the minutes before the jump would be unprecedented. Social media platforms would crash under the load of 8 billion people checking the countdown simultaneously. Power grids would experience bizarre fluctuations as entire cities turned on their phones and computers at once. The electromagnetic signature from billions of devices synchronizing would create radio interference detectable from space. But the really weird effects would come from the fact that not everyone jumps the same way. People in different time zones would be at different energy levels, some jumping during their peak afternoon energy, others jumping sleepily at 3 a.m. Athletes would jump higher than elderly people. Children would jump at slightly different times because they'd get excited and jump early. This means our simultaneous jump would actually create a rolling wave effect across the planet. The seismic signature wouldn't be a single sharp spike, but a complex pattern that would tell the story of human variation across the globe. Seismologists analyzing the data afterwards would be able to map population density, age demographics, and even athletic ability of different regions just from the jumping patterns. Urban areas would show sharp, intense signals, rural areas would show gentler, more spread out impacts. But here's the truly unexpected twist that nobody would see coming. The jump wouldn't be the most significant effect at all. The most profound consequence would happen exactly 24 hours later. You see, coordinating 8 billion people to jump simultaneously would require an unprecedented level of global cooperation and communication. For the first time in human history, every single person on the planet would be focused on the same goal at the same moment. The psychological effect of achieving something together, even something as silly as jumping, would be more powerful than any physical force we could generate. The day after the great global jump, crime rates would plummet worldwide. International conflicts would seem suddenly petty. Climate change initiatives would gain massive momentum as people realized what's possible when humanity acts as one. The jump that was supposed to move the Earth would end up moving something much more important: human consciousness itself. We discover that the real force capable of changing the world isn't physical, it's the simple realization that we're all in this together. So while our synchronized jump wouldn't budge Earth by even an atom's width, it would fundamentally shift something far more valuable: our perspective on what we can accomplish when we stop seeing ourselves as 8 billion separate people and start seeing ourselves as one species sharing one planet. The Earth would keep spinning exactly as before, but we'd be completely different.